Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and we are here. Daytona International Speedway. Carl Johnson is on the pole. It's Bafoti Sacco, Jack Lagacy, Bobby Striegel, Blake Warren, Adam McDowell, Joshua Saculli, Hugh G, Joseph Curtis, last week's winner, Tim Randolph, the Boston winner. Get you to the front of the field. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here from Daytona. It's going to take a little bit. These cars take a little bit to get warmed up. Ready to go. Look at this angle. Way above the racetrack. This is from the helicopter. Off the side of the helicopter, you could see all the action. Jack Lagacy right now got the race lead. Guys showing off that cool camera work. Luis Hernandez right here in the 5. Trying to move up. Zachary Fitzwater in the 43 once again. That rod will go to Ash Curtis next week at Talladega. Tim Randolph trying to go to the yellow line down there. Joseph Curtis getting pushed from Luis Hernandez. You can see Blake Warren on the outside lane. The field really needs Blake to have a bad run here at Daytona. The average speed right now is 185 miles an hour. Luis Hernandez is going to make it 3 wide for the race lead. And to the bottom, Luis Hernandez is clear. And he would love to get his name on this Under Armour Pro win list. 191 miles an hour. 200 going into turn number 1. Zachary Fitzwater already has his name in the Under Armour Pro books. Still, right now, there's a lot of communications on whether this series will be a thing next season. A lot of teams thought it would be good for their sportsman teams to, branch off into a different division. But the cost and everything to produce these cars and the sportsman cars just took effect on some teams. Ford Performance had a huge effect this season as they lost a lot. But it did help teams like Monaco Waltrip, who only put 1 car into this field instead of 3 to 4. They put 1 in, and they became a winner by doing 1 car in the Under Armour Pro. So Hendrick has 0 cars in the Under Armour Pro. And with Hendrick having 0 cars in the Under Armour Pro, I mean, their program has kind of stepped up a tiny bit. But to the front, 2 Richard Petty Motorsports cars running up here. Some big rumors about Richard Petty Motorsports is, will that team even be a team next season? Ash Curtis and Sam Curtis have been driving them cars forever. They've been looking for a way, maybe, to get to a different level. Ash Curtis has had plenty of wins. Sam, not as lucky. But they've went and they've saw their cousin DJ, and this is the big thing. They saw DJ go to that team last season. DJ went to Richard Petty last season. Showed up, did not run great. Then he went back to the team where he was running super great. Back to Team SB DJ went, and then you look at what happened to DJ. He's now in the championship hunt, current points leader of the Sportsman Series, and I think Ash and Sam have started to notice that. Also, breaking news today: JTG Doherty Racing. You see the guys who own the 47 of Joseph Curtis own that car. They are going to Sportsman next season, and they are bringing, you guessed it, Joseph Curtis into the Sportsman Series. So Joseph will be joining his cousins in the Sportsman Series. He'll be joining Sam, Ash, and DJ. After that big win last week, it really, I guess, caught the attention of that team to say, hey, we need to put this guy in our car. You look at him, he is on a rail right now, trying to run Zachary Fitzwater down. He's trying to run Fitzwater down. But Fitzwater has been maintaining the line, and you can look who's behind Zachary Fitzwater. It's a guy who probably wants a Sportsman ride, and that's Justin Jones. Hernandez Motorsports Stable in Sportsman is pretty filled. It's a pretty prestigious little group of cars in Sportsman, and every one of them has won a race. David Diaz is a pure winner. Alan Matthews is a pure winner. Joey Murphy has won multiple races, and I don't think Luis is going to give his ride up anytime soon, especially him being in a championship hunt every season, almost. So Justin Jones may have to look for other options if this series does come to a close. Because right now there's a sponsorship battle as Nationwide is still in the process of getting back to trying to be the series sponsor of the Sportsman Series. But Under Armour would love to jump in there and take over the Sportsman brand, the Under Armour Sportsman Series. They would love to do that, which then that would leave this series with no title sponsor. Under Armour only signed a two-year agreement with ERL to be a title sponsors of series, so they were the sponsor of the trucks last season. They loved that, and then this season they are the sponsor of the Pro Series. Here comes the other JTG Doherty machine, Dylan Parker. Not seeing a lot of him this season. 4 wide almost for third. Haven't seen a lot of Dylan Parker this season, but now starting to show up late in the season. Especially last week his teammate won. Maybe he was gonna maybe say, hey, if I win Daytona, maybe I can get a Sportsman ride next season. I know one thing though, we've been covering ERL stuff for a while now, and this has probably been the wildest season of contract negotiations and everything. There's a lot of young drivers in the Sportsman Series and in the Under Armour Pro that want to get their name out, get their recognition out. And then you also have guys who really Damn, O'Neal Baldwin and Stephen Thompson back there are beating and banging every lap. They are all over each other. '21. I think this is either Dylan or Eric this week. You can see back here. Let's see. It is Dylan Schwallenberg, Florida native. Trying to push Stephen Thompson up, and he's actually trying to pass him. I believe he could pass him. Zach King back there. He's a hot free agent. Well, not technically a free agent. He's still with Robbie Jackson, RJI. But could he be a free agent? That could be a thing. Spencer Gilmore, free agent, got released out of his ride. Oh, big contact this time. They are still beating and banging. 42 and 22 have kept hitting each other every lap. It's really not helping either lane out. It's actually hurting Dylan Parker. You can see how these guys are still lined up. Dylan Schwallenberg really wanting to make a pass on the 42. There they go, beating and banging again. Look at it now. O'Neal is in a sucker hole. He's going to fall back. Dylan actually moved up into that lane behind the 22. Maybe Lily Murphy can push the 42 a little bit better than the 21. The 21 was getting pretty frustrated as he could not move any lane. And here comes Lily Murphy peeking, trying to make some moves. Dylan Parker now to the point by himself. Now he's going to have to block 3 lanes of traffic. It's Keith Stevens second place riding. Didn't really notice Keith. You can see when they're 3 wide like that, it's really hard to pass because everybody's basically just getting the same air you're getting. Dylan Parker has to throw a block on the 16, and watch it, he's going to go down to the 22. Staying with the 22 in the middle groove, knowing the 42 isn't getting a huge run. Oh, contact between Lily Murphy and Dylan Schwallenberg. 22 goes to the bottom. And the 22 is going to use his whole momentum to go to the lead. O'Neal Baldwin went to the bottom of the racetrack and is now door-to-door with Dylan Parker, but he has no help. Looks like Lily Murphy may be going to think about jumping up into the middle groove. I think a lot of people are wondering, well, this race seems slower. Usually their Daytona races are faster. They did put a bigger restrictor plate on these cars ever since Texas World for the violent crashes and Under Armour Pro. So, yeah, this is the way it's going to look for a couple weeks. Or next week for Under Armour Pro. I don't think Sportsman's getting that big of a different restrictor plate, but I do know Under Armour Pro did get one. And Dylan Schwallenberg is still stuck in the middle trying to maybe get somebody to push him. Oh, car around. Jack Legacy in the back of the field. Don't think that's going to bring a caution out. No, Jack Legacy goes around. We're going to go and take a look at it. I don't think he hit anything. Oh, he did catch the wall. What happened? He was rubbing fenders with Luis Hernandez. Oh, then he just kind of gets turned by the... Well, let's go back and look and see what happened. You can see him touch. 23's already there. Jack probably did not know he was not clear. Around he goes. Ooh. 34 has a ton of damage, actually, to the back end of that race car. As Dylan Parker still battles with O'Neal Baldwin for the race lead. Parker actually has no help. Dylan Schwallenberg going to move to the very top side of the racetrack. That time O'Neal Baldwin would have won the race, and this thing's starting to get wild now. Look at Parker. Parker has the most help on the outside lane. The 16, the 21, the 10, they're all lined up. The 22 has the 42, who's way behind him. Dylan actually thought about maybe going to the very outside with help from Keith Stevens. Stevens trying to go to the middle. Not happening. New leader, Dylan Parker. If you're Dylan Parker, you kind of don't want to move off that top side because you can see all the help up there. They are lining up with just a couple of laps to go. The 38, that's Derek Edison, former Sportsman driver. He knows how to run around Daytona. There's Eric Monaco. There's Blake Warren, who is having a good day. Keeping out of trouble. If he's got over a 2-race lead, he could go into Talladega and just have to start the race and get points and win the championship. But his Penske teammates now got help. You can see the huge sucker hole in the middle has now became. O'Neal Baldwin, man, I think Derek Edison would love to go down and maybe try to score this win. It's 2 laps to go. You got to start thinking about moves. Here comes Derek Edison actually getting a run. He's going to use that run to better the 22. White flag is in the air. Dylan Parker got a huge head of momentum that time, getting pushed from Dylan Schwallenberg. But you can see how they break away up on the high side. The 42 and the 11 have broken off. Parker's getting a huge shove down the back. Final time. Who's it going to be at Daytona? Parker trying to maintain the race lead. It's going to be door to door. O'Neal Baldwin is hoping to catch some Daytona destiny. Here comes Parker with the last charge to the line. O'Neal Baldwin will win at Daytona in a very old school traditional Daytona race. These guys put it all on the line, tried everything they could, and it comes down to this. Baldwin, Parker, Edison, Schwallenberg, Monaco, Stevens, Jessica Kinghart, Franz DeVries, Blake Warren, Stephen Thompson, Luis Hernandez, Adam McDowell, Audra Barnauskas, Joshua Sakuli, and Zamed Oskin. That is your top 15, and then here's your rest of your finishing order, guys. We will see you tomorrow for the Sportsman Series at Daytona. Till we meet again, everybody.